Welcome back, everybody. We are joined here by Skara from Team Dignitas, mid lane player. How you doing, man?
Very relieved today.
Very relieved. You guys went undefeated today. Like, was that the expectation coming in?
We expected to do, yes, extremely well this week. But expectations and reality are two different things. And so I'm very happy our expectations matched the reality. Like, extremely relieved right now.
All right, of course, you still got 2 games Thursday, Friday.
Exactly.
You ready for those?
No, but we will prepare. Especially for these types of games, we have to prepare them one day at a time. So we prep for 3 games for the last week. We'll prep for tomorrow and the next game one day at a time. So I'm pretty confident going into the last 2 games that we should be able to close out this week.
All right, 5-0. Dang, really?
Hopefully, yes.
All right.
Has anything changed in your preparation from the beginning of the LCS? Because I remember a lot of people were giving you guys flack for the rocky start. But since then, you've been on a roll. You're on a streak right now. You guys have not stopped losing. Did anything switch up?
No.
Now we're just winning.
The thing is, a lot of people don't realize practice doesn't show immediate results. So for instance, if I practice on purely CS standpoint for a whole week, I may get a little bit better that week. But down the line, like a week later, 2 weeks later, that's when you'll really see the results of our practice. Unless, and it's true for like a lot of different things. Like there's some things where it's untrue, but I feel like our practice throughout the weeks has helped us this week just as much as the practice that we prepped specifically for our first day.
Well, that's pretty impressive. Now, I want to actually talk to you about the game you guys just played because it was interesting. You guys ran top lane Diana, which is a little bit unorthodox. Where did that come from?
We thought that they would not expect it, but it was just something Kiwi was really comfortable and he wanted to play. And so we agreed that if Singe was not banned, that he could play that champion. And it turns out Singe was banned. So
Shocking.
Yeah, very shocking. So he unfortunately can't have 6 Singe games in his match history now.
Well, he was rewarded, and it definitely showed his confidence on that champion. He did not stop brawling with Zion up there, and it always seemed to come out just barely ahead. I also like that Crumbs would always bring a pink ward, so you guys were always ready to finish off the kill. But what I really want to ask about is the last play there when Cutie Pie's running up to the top, and you were in the Baron pit. Was he calling for you, hey, I want to bait this right now? Because he could have easily just ran back to your base.
No, he just thought that he could outplay.
Just solo without you even?
I honestly thought he was dead. Like 100% he was going to die. But he surprised me because he still had barrier. And we were able to turn a kill for them that I thought was almost guaranteed into 2 kills for us and him surviving. So kind of good play, kind of luck. Maybe like 50-50. But it looks good, I guess.
You're never quite sure with that guy if he knew it all along. Or if
yeah,
it was
I am seriously never quite sure what he's thinking.
What is that dynamic with Cutie Pie? When we talked to Kiwi, he said like Cutie Pie is like the Joker the entire time, and you guys you laugh because of him.
Yeah, no,
like,
he's
what is he
really
like
good comic relief. He spent like a majority of our curse game trying to convince us to dive Cop at the fountain if we won, because he wanted to shut down Cop's KDA, and we were like all down for it. But Cop was like so deep into the fountain before we closed the game that we couldn't do it. And like he'll read like do like dramatic readings of like lore while we're doing scrims and stuff. Like he's just a really funny person, which doesn't really come off a lot of times. He doesn't do many interviews.
Speaking of that KDA, we noticed at the end of the game they never really wanted to fight you guys. Do you think that they were waiting for a mistake to come out, or they didn't want to ruin their KDA by
I think
fighting,
they were
or?
waiting for a mistake.
Yeah, that's...
And so they gave up the first tower, which I agree. Like that was that was the smart idea, because I ended up ulting Graves to 10%, and they couldn't fight that, so that was smart. I expected a brawl at the top turret, but they gave that one up. And then I think they realized at the bottom turret, they're like, we gave up too much.
Yeah.
And as soon as we were down there, they're like, we can't. They just gave up, like all hope, which is not something that we see much. And we were actually really surprised. It just ended like very anticlimactically.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to say about that game.
We'll take the W.
Yeah, like we'll take the win, but we expected a bigger brawl at the end.
So what can we expect from Dignitas coming forward here, right? You've got 2 more matches this week. You're almost there to first place. Are you going to overtake Curse?
We hope so, but I think we're still one loss behind.
Yeah.
So if they go 4-1, we'd still be in second place.
Okay.
But to be honest, like overall standings will average out near the end. So right now we're just hoping to 5-0 this week.
You're going to play Curse 2 more times during the season. Are you going to be 26-2?
We certainly hope so.
All right, well, thank you very much, Scar, for joining us. And, of course, congratulations on your wins this week. Our final match of the day is going to be upon us. It is Team MRN versus Team Solo Mid. It features a particularly heated battle in the top lane. Let's take a look.
Mega Zero, very, very underrated.
We go against each other in solo queue a lot,
I still lose to him, actually, majority of the time.
and I always see him tweet, and he's like, man, I'm against Mega Zero again. I don't want to lose in lane again.
He can easily be the best.
I really just want to play against Dyrus and beat Dyrus in lane.
Well, Mega Zero might be eager to take on Dyrus, but then again, last time these teams met, he didn't even get the chance to do so.
Yeah, TSM sent KX special to deal with Mega Zero, and they dealt with him well. I mean, KX just got 3 kills so early, and they never really turned it around. It was that super aggressive lane, and they just really snowballed it. And today, TSM still 2 wins. They're looking really good, and they're mixing it up a little. A lot of people gave them flack for being predictable. This week, or Wednesday, just today, they've run a double AP comp and a tank AP comp with that Malphite. I guess he kind of counts as AP too, so they're switching it up.
They are still diving that turret, though.
Yeah.
We've seen the guys learn from it, though, right? Like, you look at the games today, and the 3-on-1 tower dives came in pretty much every game. There was a lane swap. But no one's really been dying to it as much. They've been, okay, we'll give up the turret. And we see turrets fall down instead. So for Mega Zero's sake, I'm going to guess that MRN's going to be like, hey, I'm not going to go ahead and give 3 kills to Chaos in 4 minutes.
Yeah, there's a couple options when they do that. You can either send your jungler to go take the opponent's bottom turret and trade like we've seen so often, or you could have your jungler come up and help the single person wave clear for a while and defend your turret. And you want to do that more when you have a better scaling solo lane and you want to keep those lanes in the lane phase for a lot longer. Both of these teams for the first half of the day have been open to just getting out of that lane phase. They want to get down to the fights, and everybody's been ready to go at it.
All right, well, now, of course, both these teams have a little bit of momentum. MRN took their win against CLG, though they did lose to Curse earlier on. But let's check out these teams' lineups first of all before we get the game started. On the blue side, we have Team MRN. Mega Zero, that top laner, we heard him wanting to beat up on Dyrus, Claky D in the jungle, Echo in mid, Heartbeat on AD carry, and Atomic N on support.
On the red side, we have TSM, Dyrus top lane, maybe. Odd One in the jungle, Reginald mid, Chaos AD, and X special support.
And the funny thing is, it's usually the red team that initiates the lane swap. More often than not, it tends to be we're going to send you to the bottom lane, Dyrus, KX special up there. We'll see. I mean, it's hit and miss. I mean, last time it was actually Mega Zero going to the bottom. Anyway, we'll see what ends up happening here. But in this case, really, yeah, it's a game where certainly MRN's going to have to take lessons from last time.
And Mega Zero really wants to fight Dyrus, but I'll be interested to see if he can fight him with a champion other than Renekton. Like, he's been a beast on that Renekton, but if they're able to ban that out, will he still feel as confident against Dyrus? It sounds like in solo queue he's able to deal with them no matter what.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see a more varied champion pool from Mega Zero.
He tends to get one guy and kind of stick to it, right? Throughout the LCS qualifiers, he was just like, I mean, he played Riven and Irelia once in a while, but when it came down to it, he was like Olaf, 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 and it worked pretty well. He picked Cho'Gath once, was like, oh, that was a mistake, Olaf, 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 and that was his kind of gameplay there. You know, Team Solomid, I mean, Dyrus plays a mean Renekton. He's been picking him up quite a bit. We saw him even like very early on in week 1 even, that matchup against Kiwi Kid's Kale, and it's a great champion for him. I mean, TSM's another team that runs that sort of armor shred setup. So I think even if it's not banned, it'll still be a contested pick.
I have to give him props for his Rumble play, too. Dyrus had some really awesome ultimates in that game that turned it around. And even though he was against the lane bully that is AP Tryndamere, he really turned around a lot of the team fights and got the advantage to his team.
Yeah, they picked it for him. They said, yeah, you know, Zion Spartan's an AP Trynd, but yes, we're going to give you Rumble to beat him up one-on-one. And then he was just pixel perfect with every equalizer. And, of course, you know, you can't really ban out any of these players on Team Solomid. They've been around for so long. Their roster I mean, the champion roster for each of these players is just absolutely massive. There's just a laundry list that they're not going to be able to dive through. So, you know, Champions League will be interesting because what does Marn even target ban?
Yeah, it's interesting when you come up against a team with such a deep champion pool like you're talking about, because you can't really ban out those specific champions to put them out of their comfort zone. So you really just have to ban what they've been using successfully recently.
Yeah, so we'll see what those end up being. Again, Renekton, I think we both feel is going to be a contended guy right here. Blue team up, Team Marn, Mega Zero going to be the one to choose the first ban here. It's going to be LeBlanc getting away from Reginald, which is funny. I talked to Reginald today, and he's like, yeah, I've kind of stopped playing LeBlanc because I kept getting banned, so I'm not good at it anymore.
It's interesting that his skill just drops off as soon as he stops playing that champion. He was like amazing LeBlanc 1 week, doesn't play it for a week, and now he's terrible. I don't know about that, but a lot of teams stop banning it, and he hasn't picked it.
True.
So this may be a missed ban, maybe an indicator that Marn haven't updated their research on TSM.
It's possible. We'll see what it ends up being. I feel like Reginald's skill with champion is like a Fury bar for Renekton, right? If you keep using it, it stays full, and you deal double damage with things, and then it just decays when you stop playing. The Twist of Fate ban, though, against Echo, they're removing that sort of aggressive Marn team composition. You know, before their game, we said, are they a fast team or are they a slow team? And Echo had said, you know, when we get the initiators, we're a fast team. Vi, TF, all that. We'll go in, we'll fight. Banning out Singe from Dyrus, another famous champion of his.
That's a throwback. Like that's way back in the day when he was
Season 1 championships.
Spam and laugh, and that's iconic Dyrus right there.
It really is.
The Kale, highly contested.
Yeah, it is a pick that's interesting because even talking to Echo about it, he said that Curse had actually baited them into picking the Kale, and they just played around it and had no problem. TSM apparently they didn't want to play around it; they just want to get rid of that girl.
Yeah,
and,
her ultimate is really game-changing if you can get the timing right. And this is actually a question I really wanted to ask Skara. He has an interesting relationship with Kiwi Kid where they both play a lot of the same champions. We saw them switch around the Gragas and Diana 2 times, but they also both play Kale. So if they get Kale too, then they can do that switch around. Yeah. And they really always keep people on their toes because you never know if the champion's going to be top or bottom. She's so versatile. Yeah. And there's the Renekton ban that you expected.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's Marn's turn to look for a first pick. All the major junglers are really available. Of course, Jarvan, Claky D's signature, but that still leaves Xin Zhao and Vi open, as well as Odd1's signature Maokai. So there are a lot, just a world of options available for the junglers. Everyone else got target banned, but not those guys.
Talk about updating your research. I mean, Jarvan was pretty much banned 24/7 against Claky. Because everybody was like, oh, he's like his brother. He's a fighting game guy. He used that one champion over and over. And if you take that away from him, then it opens up a lot of unforced errors from him, and you can capitalize on that. TSM, though, bagging out some global champions that they want to get rid of. And they are probably going to first pick this Tarek. I kept saying it every single game they're in. Yeah. He's either first picked by their team or the other team. They really put a lot of value on him.
And there was a lot of value in that. I mean, and it's just been so powerful. And you kind of want to expect if Jarvan were available, it would have been Jarvan picked instead of Misfortune. Because I think that was like the perennial duo pick right there. But Tarek, MF, an amazingly brutal lane. It's Marn's turn to pick. They've got 40 seconds to make a choice here. And there's just a world of options. They know what the bottom lane is, so they've got full ability to counter pick. The thing is, that's an aggressive lane, so like someone like Kog'Maw's a bit riskier. Aside from Twisted Fate, everything's sort of available in the mid as well. But, you know, looking back at how Marn did well, it was with aggressive teams. Teams that could actually go in and start fights a whole heck of a lot. So these like defensive guys like Anivia just seem less likely for them. They're just taking all the time waiting for this.
I'm excited for Marn for this game because not only are they coming into this off a win against CLG, which was very hyped up, but Claky gets to play his signature champion. It seems like everything's starting out right for them before they get into Summoner's Rift. So if they can keep this going, it feels pretty solid for them.
Oh, they've gone for Alistar Tristana. I mean, we've really seen Alistar get back into the game here. Everyone's really in love with that champion now as a support. And yeah, even the Tristana coming back as well. There's the Xin Zhao instant lock for Team Solo Mid, wanting to grab that jungler.
I feel like both of these teams are expecting exactly what the other team is doing. Echo has played, Heartbeat has played a lot of Tristana, and he's been rushing that Blade of the Ruined King. TSM's probably going to expect that. They may have just given Claky that Jarvan pick because they knew that he would grab it. And TSM has been running those Tarek and MF just every single chance that they get.
Yeah.
So these are really just expected picks all around for both teams.
Yeah, they've had to pick a somewhat safe top laner, knowing that MRN has a chance to counter-pick this champion here if it is indeed a one-on-one in the top lane. And, you know, this is a fairly aggressive team so far. They've got Echo in the back line to support himself. In the meantime, they've got to think about what they're going to go for. Riven was a famous pick there for Mega Zero in the live qualifiers. It worked pretty well for him. I don't know if it's the best champion to go up against Rumble overall. I'm not very good at top lane myself. Looking at Nidalee, that was actually played by them in the past as well. The AP mid Nidalee, I think it was more so than anything else. And, ooh, Akali. So it is an aggressive all-in team, right? You've got Akali and Jarvan all going in, and Nidalee has the ability to do that as well.
Yeah, it's a great poke comp anytime you have Nidalee. It's like she's a poke comp within herself. We saw Minotaur Cloud, one man zoning the entire team of CLG. If she gets fed, then she can do that. But the aggressive bottom lane here is really the star for MRN. Not only do they have the Alistar Triss combo, but their jungler is probably going to be that Jarvan. I'm pretty sure they will switch champions. And Claky, he just ganks from all angles. He's pretty much a non-stop ganker when he's on Jarvan, using that flag toss to get to weird positions and just come at you from all kinds of angles. So I'm expecting some really early action, especially for that bottom lane where they have so much CC that they can combo, and an all-in AD champion like Tristana.
Exactly. These teams have been focusing that lane so much in general as well. And here we go. Reginald going in with the Xerath pick. The second time for him today. Was an Orianna once before. That champion just showing up out of nowhere today and being like, yeah, guys, Xerath is now competitive.
We had the double AP again coming out from TSM.
Yeah.
These are all champions that they had recent success on.
Yeah.
I was saying, when you're going against a team like this, you don't ban specific to the person, you ban specifically to what they've been using successfully.
Yeah.
These are those champions. Dyrus had a great game on Rumble. I really liked his ultimates. He was hitting all of them, zoning really well with them, picking up kills from a large distance. And then Reggie was using his ultimate pretty much on cooldown to chunk out people from the enemy team, and then take a objective. They weren't always rewarded with a kill, but they would just grab an objective because they forced someone to back. So.
And it's been really, really powerful for them. They know that poke is available, and of course, it's a little bit easier to hit the ultimate from Xerath and javelins from Nidalee. Gonna go into this one again. The last game of the day here, game 12, and it's MRN looking to continue their streak. They just beat, you know, longtime rivals of TSM, Counterlogic Gaming. Team Silvermid, of course, looking great themselves. They came off a break from week 3, and they started out today pretty fast. So, loading screen about to be done, guys. This is going to be quite the match. Both teams grabbing double ability power against those Armor Aura champions, Jarvan and Tarek. So a lot of fighting going to be happening here.
So I'll do my Xerath spiel again, since it's been a long day. I did that at the beginning of the day. I don't know if everybody, we'll probably have a new audience here, but Xerath gets a lot of percentage magic penetration from maxing his locus of power. Last time Reggie maxed that second. So by the time you get to level 5, it's 40% magic penetration for free, basically. And with the way that penetration stacks now, with percentage going first, all Reggie has to do is rush some flat penetration, and he hits so hard with his ultimate. It gets almost down to true damage very early in the game with just those Sork boots and the Haunting Guys.
All right, and we'll see how that ends up panning out for him, of course. Worked very well last time he did it. We'll see if he can get shut down this time. Thankfully for him, penetration items are fairly cheap. Look at, he puts the flag down. Notice it's Special and Avatar moving forward. They will not take this ward down, actually. So it's going to be completely just some free vision there onto the Wraith camp. Reginald waiting around on his side of the Wraith, looking for where wards might come in. Just looks like defensive wards so far from Team MRN. Otherwise, everyone else is playing as a human ward here. No one's really looking for invades, just looking to gather information.
Yeah, saving their wards for a little bit. This is good. Holding on to that gold, being a little bit stingy in the early game. But once that timer does get close to the minions spawning, we see them drop the rest of their wards, usually because they have to look out for these early ganks from Claky. They gave him his Jarvan, so if you're going to do that, you have to ward up early, because he's going to come at you very quickly. As soon as he gets double buffs, he usually likes to come and gank either that middle or that top lane.
And how do you feel about Jarvan's ability to bypass wards, you know, jumping over walls and trying to bypass? Do they have to ward in different spots to counteract that, or the normal ward's going to be okay?
Yeah, all you have to do is wait for the cooldown to come back up, and we've seen Claky do that time and time again. He has no problem jumping over that wall by the blue buff, getting into the bush just to bypass a ward, and then waiting the extra few seconds for the cooldown to come back up so he can knock you up. And it'll just be surprised, and you feel like you're safe that way. People overextend a little bit because they have those wards, and then all of a sudden this Jarvan's coming out of the bush right behind you.
Well, so the lanes are gonna get run into right here. So Dyrus helping the odd one, hard leashing the golem buff. While we saw Mega Zero actually get help do double golems, and he's in lane already. So Mega with an early XP lead and a 2-on-2 top lane here. Chaos up against Heartbeat.
So when you do that ward very deep at the blue buff, sometimes you can get yourself into trouble. That ward got TSM into trouble versus Dignitas because Crumb saw them place this ward at the blue buff and knew that they were going to go for it, and they used that as bait. So they do have vision of the blue buff, but Marn could bait with this vision because they know it's there.
All right, well,
Looks like they won't contest.
Yeah, no one's really trying for that one. Just the lizard buff being grabbed here for the odd one. Smite still up. Echo, though, really getting brawled out. Reginald is very good at actually fighting one-on-one. You can see how well he's doing, really pushing Echo away. You know, punishing that early game Needly weakness here. Otherwise, the lane's looking fairly equal.
I like what they did here for Marn because usually it is the red side who do the switch, sending their AD carry and support top. And so they actually countered it because Mega Zero really wanted that 1v1 with Dyrus as Echo takes the Ignite. Barrier is such a great counter to Ignite. It actually can shield the entirety of that damage. But now Mega Zero gets his dream. He's going 1v1 with Dyrus.
And he's starting out 14-5 in minions. He's got a big wave stacked up. He's certainly built at least an experienced lead thanks to the double golems. Top lane 18-18. Mid lane, though, definitely an advantage for Reginald, though both are now without their combat summoners. So we'll see what happens in this matchup as it pans out.
So Mega Zero did start with that red pot. He's going to have the advantage if it does come down to a double jungle gank and they try and pull off a counter gank. He'll have that extra burst of HP that can really take you by surprise if you forget he's got that in his inventory.
And the Javelin coming out, not quite last hitting there for Echo. 19-11. We keep visiting this bottom lane, Dyrus versus Mega Zero. Pretty important matchup for these guys. Mega is normally one of those major carries for Team Marn. Dyrus always fills in the gaps extremely well. He tends to just like fit into the team comp, like with a really wide champion roster.
Clayke's been fairly quiet early. It may be because he's been caught out so many times trying to do those early ganks and actually standing on wards. He doesn't even want to chance the fact that there could be a ward there. He farms the jungle until he can save up for a pink ward of his own and make sure that he can get a gank off without being seen. Unfortunately, that deep blue ward does see him going up to top.
Wow, so of course nothing else is really going to happen here. The pings are out completely. Vision ward coming from Atomic N, getting rid of some of that vision. They might still know Cliffy D is here.
They definitely tipped their hand there by pink wardings and clearing that bush. Not only did they see him come up through the blue, but Odd One's had plenty of time to get into position for this counter.
Uh-oh, Heartbeat and Atomic N still moving forward, which means they can get this gank started. It's going to be a loop around the back. They now see Sinjao. The ping is off. They're going to run away. Can Special find a stun? Odd One is there as well. The EQ is going to be able to land. Who are they going to go for here? It's going to be onto Atomic N. He pulverizes into the air. They're going to try to back out from this one. A lot of punishment. Oh, the knockup as well. He's forced to flash away, actually. Not quite sure if that was required.
It was a good choice by TSM, though, because there's no way they're going to get Heartbeat's flash. He's got a jump in his pocket. And so the only thing that they could hope for after that would be burning that summoner spell, and they do get it out of Atomic.
All right, well, a really good play right there. And actually, we see that Dyrus has equalized the score against Mega Zero, pushed him all the way back, forced him to burn all of his potions as well. Only the elixir left up for Mega. And Dyrus, again, you're just seeing him shove in the Flame Spitter, really dropping his health bar lower and lower. Mega, he's not sustaining enough.
Yeah, very impressed with Dyrus' Rumble play. Mega Zero wanted this matchup, and it looks like Dyrus could start swinging it in his favor. As they hit level 6, it does get dangerous for Mega because there's so much AoE from Rumble, he can kill you through a Shroud.
Yeah.
Even though he can't see you, he can Flame Spitter, he can also ult you. You'll still take a whole bunch of damage over time.
Well, there's a level 6 picked up on both sides. We'll see if Dyrus goes for something crazy. 30-37 in minions. Dyrus building a lead for himself in this one-on-one.
Shinjao top again.
All right, he's looking for it. It's been revealed by that word. Heartbeat's going to jump, but the knockup's going to be available here. Nice pulverize, going to keep him maybe alive. Beautiful play by Atomic N keeps him. However, Clicky D's looking at the bottom lane, but he's just jumped over a ward.
Even though it is Alistar and he can pummel you as soon as you charge him, I did expect them to go for the Alistar because they had already burned his flash. and they actually don't get anything out of that gank except a little harass.
Oh, but Echo, speaking of harass, taking a bit of punishment, pops barrier. That's already back up for himself and blocks most of the damage from Reginald. However, despite no mana, he is very afraid of that Xerath. And once again, special in that brush, ready to zone out Atomic and Heartbeat. Who thought it was going to be his done?
Yeah. So Reggie's sort of winning this lane on two fronts. Not only is he out CSing and shoving Echo to his turret so that he has map advantage and he can roam if he really wanted to, but he went with a gold per 10 item, that Cage's lucky pick. So he's also stacking up just passive gold lead.
Well, that's going to be really fun. Of course, we talked about the Morellonomicon before. That is one of the components of Morellonomicon. We'll see if he goes for that one again. We're seeing this top lane. The 2-on-2, well, as Odd1 grabs the blue off that top lane, the 2-on-2 actually going very much into Chaos's favor, 58 to 44. Neither laner has backed yet, but Chaos just getting a gold lead. The little bit of attention they got from the Odd1 seems to be pulling their favor.
Yeah, it's really nice, but it also shows in Odd1 CS here. You can see Clake's at 41. He's been concentrating on farming really hard because he was wary of getting counter ganked, and it's been turning out bad for him before.
Oh, the blue buff got stolen by Odd1's Mastery. The 6 damage swing.
6 true damage there, too strong. Odd1 always does that press S, which is kind of a remnant from the past where you had to leash all these buffs. Now, they will attack whoever's closest to it. So if someone's next to it besides the jungler, then they can actually switch and the jungler can just leave.
Yeah.
If you're scared of that, then Reggie could walk all the way in. Reggie's a ranged champion, though. They want to get over the wall, and they actually lose out. Echo not making the same mistake. That spear does plenty of damage. He's going to be rewarded with a pretty good advantage for farming in that mid lane. Let's see if he can turn that around and use that to get back even win CS.
But we'll see how that pans out. Reggie has gone back to base, picked up a Doran's Ring, so he's got nice and full mana
Almost
right
even.
now.
There we go. It's 63 to 66.
Definitely a close matchup here. Now, actually, the interesting thing is Claky D is out minion farming the Odd1 by quite a significant margin, as either team has picked up kills, but you can see at the top of the map, 9 minutes in, TSM actually has a gold lead from out laning their opponents. Both Dyrus and Chaos are beating their counterparts.
Yeah, Mega Zero doing a pretty good job here, though. He still has the red elixir in his pocket, and he has got the Hex Tech now, so he's got plenty of sustain in lane. Not only does he have the passive from Akali, which now you start out with immediately, don't even have to use a different rune page. It was kind of weird where Akali before you had to have a specific rune page that no other champion would really use. I like the change.
Yeah, it helps him out. And of course, if you actually ran the same page, you had the exact same stats you did before, just shifted the values down to allow them at 0. And Mega Zero, you're actually seeing him be able to bully back a little bit. Only down 8 minions here has kept that from going any farther away. And you're now seeing Dyrus be the one who's sitting in the back, trying to sort of farm with Flame Spitter, because those commas really are doing good damage for Mega. You're seeing him shoving back up. He's got a little bit of ward coverage so that if the Odd1 shows, he'll see him come in. Just still last hitting, taking some fire damage. There we see Heartbeat and Atomic N. Also, again, farming back and forth, but they're 13 minions down. It's a good lead for Chaos.
Oh, Reggie and Echo just mirroring each other, placing the exact opposite wards here. You can see it's a little crisscross.
Red and blue on both sides, making sure there's nothing coming in from the side and mid lane. There's only really 2 major entrances, and they've just warded them both.
Like he's coming up. He knows that there's a ward. He has another pink.
And the Vision Ward's being used completely, but we have actually Xin Zhao camping in this bottom lane. If Mega Zero goes in on Dyrus, it's going to be a counter engage, and Mega just smells it and says, you know what? No, I'm not going to go for this one. However, now getting pushed down to the turret, it's going to be Odd1 in the brush.
They did get vision of Odd1 there. You see that blue ping? So Odd1's going to be wasting his time down in that bottom turret. Mega's not going to make the mistake. Yeah, he recognizes it too. Mega is playing pretty defensively, so he just leaves that lane.
Yeah, 2 pink wards there actually in Odd1's inventory. Uses one to get to wrest vision control over that lower river. You see he actually ran up and back down, but it's now onto X-Special. A bit of damage on both sides. Atomic N also forced away. No true engage here.
It looks like Claky might come in for a counter after these double golems, but if he takes too long on the double golems, he won't get there in time.
There we go. They're going to jump into Mega Zero. He's trying to jump away. Beautiful ult gets him away. Dashes into a minion. He's completely juked everything out. Amazing jukes there. And of course, now it's a free ward kill. 25 gold. If he wants it.
It's not quite free yet. He still has pretty low life. They aren't going to dive that turret, though, because Dyrus did use his ultimate and his ignite.
He didn't even burn flash. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just like fanboying. That was amazing. He juked everything.
And he still has his red elixir. He didn't even pop the red elixir. He wasn't scared at all.
He had reason to be confident fighting against Dyrus here. Let's see. Atomic N,
Ooh,
make
misses.
That actually could have been a dead Alistar if Make It Rain hit.
Yeah, but he does miss it just a little bit, and now they're going to shove the lane. Definitely what you want to do whenever you see the duos go back, so they at least lose a few CS to that turret.
And now we're seeing only a 400 kills. Jeez, 400 gold difference between these two guys. Echo holding strong, 107 to 108 in minions in that mid lane, 75-82 in the top, and you know you're seeing like Mega slightly behind Dyrus, and Chaos pretty significantly above Heartbeat. ClayKD slightly above his opponent.
So last week, MRN actually got their first win from a game that they didn't get first blood until 25 minutes. So having a slow game might not be too bad. We usually do like to see them start it off faster though, because TSM's team play later is just so well coordinated that it's going to be a tough battle.
And the interesting thing for them as well is they've got this strong area of effect team there. Rumble, Sinzhao, Misfortune, even Reginald here on Xerath. Just they can really take all of Martin's team down pretty quickly, and they've got basically 1.5 tanks here. So you know, Martin in a team fight might be in a scary situation. You're seeing them now in the top lane. They're just squaring off over and over against each other. It's really all I can kind of say is these guys are trying to match up and trying to eke out advantages, and no one's really found anything major yet.
So we have the Tristana with that Vamp Scepter only. I think that he's going to go into that same build where he gets the Cutlass and then builds Blade of the Ruined King. Echo again taking some harass here, but Reggie really, he just uses that on cooldown to get lane presence. But the Tristana probably going to finish that Blade of the Ruined King. Here comes Clayky for a sneaky gank that, I don't know, Reggie's got his flash, so this 3-on-2 top might be more interesting.
We might see, I mean, definitely Odd One waiting around far in the background. That lane will push back over. We'll see what ends up coming from that. A couple of minions left on the turret.
Odd One's going to back out. He's bored.
No, we'll see.
Oh,
yeah,
changes his mind.
He stopped that for now. The minions are up. You see how far back Atomic N and Heartbeat are playing. A little bit of pressure onto Special, doing some damage. Odd One levels up. There's a stun on Atomic N. Here they're going to go in. What will be the damage? Nice ult from Atomic keeps him from taking much. Pulverize keeps him alive as well. He is safe.
So they just get the Alistar ultimate out of there. Reggie in the middle didn't have to burn his flash, but he is getting bullied off of his turret. So they actually are getting a pretty good advantage.
But TSM, 3 people strong, are running down this lane. And actually, I didn't see them get pinged out by Echo or anyone, but they did know to back off in time. So
well, they have wards, so they could see it. And I guess voice chat instead of pings, maybe.
That's probably the more efficient version. Hey, dude, leave mid. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Done. I just made a call.
Nice job. Yeah. You should be the shot caller for our team. They're now actually pressuring back, and the rest of Martin are going to come protect this turret because both middle turrets are around the same right now, and the first one to go down is really going to afford a huge amount of map presence.
Oh yeah, it'll be the first major objective any team has taken. You're actually seeing the gold back to tied up, 17.7, 17.8 I should say, on both sides. Reginald got his own blue buff this time around, finally.
So much of this gold has been spent on pink wards for both teams. Yeah, it would be interesting to see the count there for how many pink wards have been bought.
Yeah, I wonder like if you could show gold minus consumables, like who would actually be ahead
That'd be
here.
Interesting.
Because they all started with a lot of them. Echo again taking harass here. Ooh, he jukes a couple of those shots. Reginald still poking him pretty hard. Difficulties, he's against a healer with a blue buff.
Yeah, well, he's got a blue buff too, so he's going to keep putting out his damage more, and Echo's going to keep healing more. This is kind of they're just beating each other with the feathers over here. Nobody really taking a lot of damage.
It's a pillow fight between Reginald and Echo.
There we go.
I like it. But the first turret, though, finally looks like it's going to be going TSM's way. No, he's going to go for the headbutt, pulverize onto Chaos, but they're staying onto this one. Will they have enough damage? He burns exhaust just to keep the turret alive, and now Heartbeat has rejoined. But it's Reginald. Look at him putting the pressure down. But meanwhile, Marn has found something special for themselves. The Dragon now under pressure. They found that one. Javelin coming in on Reginald. Some good damage there. The turrets have been kept alive. Marn with a 500 gold lead.
So the ward coverage for TSM is lacking, but you can't do much about that anyway because we've got ClayKD. He can jump over walls, and then as soon as you get vision of the dragon, Mega Zero can dash right over too and follow that up. Very nice dragon for them. The first real advantage in this game, as Reggie does have to burn his flash for that spear.
And Mega putting in a little bit of pressure onto Dyrus, most of it shielded away. And yeah, you again saw Reginald's ult come through, put a bunch of pressure onto Echo, but he just immediately counterattacks. And the thing is, he actually went Mercury Treads on top of that. He's really trying to not die to Reginald in lane. So far, successful.
that middly, able to bully him out. And it looks like with Claky coming in, they can take this middle turret before he gets back to lane. Mega Zero taking a lot of damage bottom, though.
He's going to flash away. There's the pink ward. It's not going to be enough for him. The smoke cloud is there, but it just will not matter. He gets a little bit of punishment, but the turret goes down. I think the turret kill leveled him up, and he... Or no, that was the red elixir, and he still died.
Yeah, he tried to dash away too, but he dashed about 3 Teemos over. Not really going to help you out this time. They finally do at least get him to pop that red elixir, though.
And that is first blood, though, of course, picked up for Team Solo Mid at the same time as first turret blood, which kind of equals themselves out, actually. First blood worth 600 gold in total if it's assisted, which it was. We're seeing 22.4 to 21.6. MRN, despite being down in kills, are in a gold lead right here, which is a pretty important thing for them. I mean, again, as underdogs, they're putting on quite a show.
Yep, and then we even out the turrets. So this is an interesting game. Both middle turrets have been taken. We haven't had as much pressure on the side turrets, and it really opens up the rest of the map. Since Xerath is a less mobile champion than Nidalee, Echo's going to be a lot more comfortable in this situation, and Reggie will probably have to spend more on wards to protect himself.
I can see that for sure. I mean, they can both wave clear really fast, so they can at least both roam out. Wow, that ward actually just slightly in turret range. Mega Zero thankful for that one. It's going to actually burn away that 150 gold. Certainly, I feel like TSM is spending more on pink wards. You alluded to that earlier. And just because of Akali, I think they are. But, you know, we just see him matching right up again. He's got Gunblade, goes in on Darius. Look at the damage. I mean, he's actually still typing in. Look at the punishment. He's got 1 dash left. Is it going to be enough to die? Yes, it will be. The kill under the turret solo for Mega Zero, just crushing him.
He said all he wanted was the 1 versus 1 Darius. So Odd1 came, ruined his fantasy, and he gets vengeance right there. Reggie has no flash now.
He burned the flash to try to get away from Claky D, which means the Demacia yell comes out. Reggie, where's he going to run to? Some good damage into Claky D. Echo puts on a heal. Claky D survives that Jarvan. Putting out a scare. Nice pickup.
Yeah, Reggie there showing his mettle, though. He does do a lot of damage, even when running. Almost taking down Claky.
Yeah, Heartbeat actually on a new build this time. Bladed the Ruin King like 5 times in a row. Now,
there we go. He actually switched.
BF Sword.
There we go.
He's got 1,900 gold, so he's got everything but the recipe for Infinity Edge. That's going to be a really good thing for him. Atomic End sitting there with a Sight Stone, but he's got Boots, which Expression does not. So Atomic End's got a little bit more bling.
Yeah, Heartbeat also switched up his build. You could see there he actually got 2 points into his rapid fire instead of maxing it first like he did last time. So since he's not getting that Blade of the Ruined King, he didn't go with the attack speed steroid to proc that passive more, and so they probably won't try any sort of sneaky Baron.
Yeah, not likely the case so much this time. He actually maxed Explosive Shot too, which gives him a ton of wave pushing. Unfortunately, he's missing a couple of minions, but it's just interesting to see these guys play so differently. I've seen so many different Tristana builds. Some get 2 points and leave it there, and they rely on that 75 damage to last hit 2 minions at once. This one, it's max. It's 150 on the splash.
Odd1 has come in undetected this time into the bottom lane, and since we saw Mega Zero go aggressive just a few seconds ago, he
like,
may do that again after he clears his pink ward.
That's a pretty good pickup.
They could prey on his aggressive nature.
I mean, he's walking right past a ward. They absolutely know he is there. Odd1 does have a pink ward. It's good. Yep, this is going to be an easy pickup onto Mega Zero. He's going to go in for something. There's Dyrus. He finds a little bit of damage. What's Mega going to go for? The pink ward is down. Mega hides in the brush. I'm not sure if the pink ward would see him in the brush or not, but he's just going to run away anyway. He's just making it out. Dyrus has ult, though. Will they ever dive in for this one? They've got Jarvan coming in from the side. There is the equalizer, dropping his health quite low. Claky D coming in from the side. Is it going to be enough? Mega Zero dropped dangerously low. Not going to find a heal from Echo. Reginald is there, finds the stun. Echo down to half health, heals himself. Claky D escapes away, but Dyrus is still here. He still wants blood. The Q coming in from Reginald. It's going to be a 2-for-0, picked up by Dyrus. He's going to be nice and rich, 3-1-0.
So Mega Zero was able to waste some time by escaping like that, but he also baited his teammate Claky D into coming to try and save him and die, so they are rewarded with an extra kill for TSM right there. And when Dragon comes up in another minute, they actually could take this opportunity to try and increase their ward vision and get rid of that pink ward that MRN currently have on it.
Well, we're going to see what that ends up being. These guys are going to trade turrets right now. Heartbeat at the top's going to find one, and at the bottom it's Dyrus.
Can fin it. Yeah, he probably
He's
can.
got it. No, he's actually not going to. He's afraid of getting... they got ward coverage. He's going to wait for another...
Mega Zero can still solos him, even after getting killed again.
That's
so it's actually a good call from Dyrus backing off.
Yeah, he's picked up a Giant's Belt since then, but it's actually going to be crazy. MRN, they're up a Dragon. They're down a kill, but they're now also up a turret here that TSM are not pushing down to this bottom lane, so Mega All right, we talked about that one-on-one. It's going well for him.
15 seconds here on the Dragon. MRN are heading right to it, and they do still have that vision advantage I was talking about. Nobody was able to counteract that. X-Special is still top, so is Chaos, so it's going to be a 5-on-3 if they decide to contest it. One red ping, but this would be very dangerous. I don't think they'll get there in time.
No, Rumble, they've pinged it out. They definitely know what's happening. But look at the damage output on that. Holy cow, it is gone. And not just because of Atomic N, but because of the damage. Yeah, I see. And Echo is actually still going to wait around by the Tri-Brush. Finds no one. The ward there spots the rest of MRN, though. They know they're coming in from the side. TSM are still pushing. Oh, sure, it's gone, actually, of course. We saw that go down earlier. 1,500 gold lead. MRN kind of caught out on the side. This could be risky. More wards going down. Reginald, a little bit of poke there. Pops the ult. Yep, a lot of pressure there. Atomic N forced to sustain the team.
None of it sticks, though, because Echo does have that blue buff. He's healing up, as well as Atomic healing up with that Alistar AoE heal. Cooldown gets reduced every time a minion is slain within his vicinity, so they're sustaining pretty well here. I like the adaptation from Heartbeat, though, going with that Infinity Edge because they didn't want to try anything sneaky, and so they don't lose a lot in the team fight like they would if he had gone Blade of the Ruined King again.
Wow, forcing another flash from Reginald. He is so afraid of Claky D here, starting the fights onto him. He knows that if he takes a javelin to the face and Mega Zero initiates, he's in bad shape. Last time I guess we saw Akali a few times overall, and most of those times...
is bottom right now.
Oh my gosh, it's actually a 5-on-4. He'll get the turret for this with no issues whatsoever. Will MRN go for an invade? We saw them play a little bit scared against CLG in 5-on-4s, not wanting to take big risks. KX will easily recall in time unless a miracle happens. 6, 5, 4.
Oh
no.
my god.
He doesn't get the turret, though. I called that one wrong as well.
Yeah, he could. So when you're in a position like that and the whole team is coming down after you, you can just recall within vision. You don't have to walk all the way back to the bush just for those extra few seconds. But that does mean that they wouldn't be able to line up any skill shots and hit you from a long range. Kind of a trade-off there. He had plenty of time, so it didn't really end up mattering. But like you said, wasn't able to get that turret in time.
Wow, so TSM, you know, they are putting in good pressure. They actually stopped MRN from pushing that mid lane. But of course, TSM KX is just all around the map. And I like this play by TSM because basically KX is just farming the entire game. 234 minions, first place in the game, and he's still shoving this top lane up against Echo. Look at the damage output from him. Echo forced to run away, healing through a healing debuff. That's not too fun for him either. And this is going to be a turret for KX. Wonderful play by him.
KX talked about how MF doesn't really need boots and how he had been skipping that or selling his level 1 boots sometimes and getting that Zephyr, but he has boots and that's just going to add on to his movement speed with his passive strut. So level 2, he has plenty of move speed. He could have chased that down even under the turret if he really wanted to blow a summoner, maybe a barrier or a flash off of Echo.
They see KX.
There's no ward vision for TSM in that area though, so it's a little dangerous for KX to be getting this far ahead of himself.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he didn't dive that turret with that lack of vision. Special. Aggressive warding really for both of the, well, I guess aggressive for TSM. It's actually inside their own side of there for MRN. He's going to look for Dyrus, puts the smoke cloud down, adds armor and MR when he sits in it, but is not going to dive the turret off of that. However, that turret down to a quarter health, and with Dyrus recalling, Mega, that should just be a free turret for him, I think. As Reginald grabs some wraiths. We
do have the rest of TSM coming down on this middle area for to stop Heartbeat's push, but Mega's left alone in that bottom. No minion wave means he has to back off for a few seconds.
He's got another one replacing it. Dyrus is coming down. He doesn't know where the odd one is either. This is risky if Mega goes for this because he doesn't know where the opposing team is, but no, he will focus himself in for it. This turret, it's going to be enough damage. I mean, I've called the turret going down wrong like 4 times in a row, to be fair, so I'll let that one actually show me that it happened. 2-3 in kills, guys. The last game of the day, we already saw MRN upset Counter Logic Gaming. Well, right now they're up 2,000 gold against Team Solo Mid. I don't think anyone really expected such an upset performance, but they're looking good still.
Yeah, they're actually ahead in gold over TSM, even though they're down in kills. So this very well could be a double upset day for MRN.
And even the upset of Curse losing their undefeated winning streak against a team they already beat. Wow, 2 pink wards going down on a Mega Zero. The turret very low, but Claky D is here. Will they re-engage? They've got turret vision. They know where TSM is. No, they're not going to go for that 2-on-2.
That is a lot of gold wasted for no kill.
Oh, and then Claky ran away with the Oracles. He could have killed the other ward.
They don't get the second pink ward. Claky...
Oh, no, it was in turret range, sorry.
Claky hasn't... Yeah,
it wasn't Oracle's.
Yeah,
I was just inter at range. Okay. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So they don't get the second ward kill, but still, they wasted 2 pink wards, didn't get that kill, and now the retaliation from Marn bottom lane looks like they want to get this next dragon. It's going to be another minute and 20 seconds, so they're jumping the gun if they actually are headed for that global objective. They might just want to shove in. I mean, they're able to take this kind of slow. Nobody's making a big move. They have a slight gold lead ahead of TSM, but that doesn't mean they can be aggressively tower diving or something like that.
No, but what we're kind of seeing is interesting because it reminds me of from the World Championships, Counterlogic Gaming Europe versus Team WE, where they sat there baiting at Baron for 25 minutes until CLG had killed 102 site wards. And at the time, there's no site stones, so it was 75 gold apiece. And here, TSM has dedicated, I think, like 7 vision wards to Mega Zero. So you look at the gold lead and you're like, yeah, Marn's up 1,700 gold. They're also up 1,700 plus like another 1,000 from vision wards.
It's like the pink ward tax that people talk about when you have an Evelynn against your team and you want to use those pink wards everywhere to keep a track of her ganking. Akali has drawn out a lot of money forcing pink wards, but Marn used a lot of pink wards themselves. Claky trying to get out those wards so that he could pull off some ganks, which he never really got around to. And there we go. Again, Reggie just busting his ultimate so they can get some early damage.
Oof. KX down a half, and he hit 3 with his actually really important because Echo could only heal 1 guy at a time, and here comes the long-range siege at Dragon. What's it going to be? Stun is available. Little more damage onto Dyrus. Are they going to go in on this one? Another Q coming out. Atomic N is low. He's going to pop ult. Who's going to go down first? They look for Reginald. They won't find him, though. Atomic N's still low. Beautiful equalizer. Who's going to go down first? Clicky D's not looking great. KX going to get found by Mega Zero. He gets stunned, though. Double kill for Dyrus. Mega trying to run away. He's still alive. No, he gets picked up there. It's 3 dead versus 2 dead. Marn comes up with a couple of kills, but they go down -1 in this fight.
So KX actually did get murdered right there, but he was able to flash over the wall, and that cut off Mega Zero from the rest of his team, so they were rewarded with that 3 versus 2. Nobody able to get away with that dragon since TSM stopped doing it, and there will be no smite still coming off.
All right, and of course, the weird thing as well is Reginald's ult is already back up. Morellonomicon plus that blue buff really just allowing him to get anything he wants. He's waiting around actually right outside. He knows where they are. He's looking for another artillery siege. Is not quite going to find it.
It's that ward giving vision of Reggie for a split second there. Yeah. They can't see him recalling, so there'll be no spears from Nidalee, though.
And the funny thing is also is Marn, yeah, he puts another ward down. The thing is they have such good ward coverage of the Dragon area. Their own pink ward is still there. They know there's no direct ward coverage themselves, and they're moving for it, Heartbeat and Echo, without really any defense. And they see KX top lane. They've got the numbers advantage.
Dignitas talked about how they were just manipulating creep waves for map objectives. And it feels like this one just kind of fell into Marn's hand, but that was perfect. Yep. That's exactly what you want to do. There's huge wave pushing top. So either TSM's going to lose out on that, or they lose Dragon. Good job by Marn picking up that global objective.
Yep.
And increasing their lead once again, even though they're down in kills. Plenty of gold.
2,000 gold. Really, it's very impressive by Marn. It doesn't look the same as the CLG game where they were just winning in kills the entire way through, and it was like, if you fight us, you lose. You fight us, you lost. You fought us, you lost. Here it's like, Marn are winning because they're controlling the map better, which is so rare for these underdog teams. Normally, when we see upsets, it's because, ooh, a really good fight or a really good gank, and it snowballed a lane, which we saw actually last time where they double killed, and it was a great move by Heartbeat. This time, though, it's not an individual great move. It's Dyrus actually crushing faces. He's been in every kill for TSM, but Marn are just able to find objectives over and over. This blue buff now going to go to Echo. More javelins coming out from him, and we're going to see who's going to poke better, Nidalee or Xerath.
It looks like TSM are tired of giving up objectives because Tarek did get an Oracles of his own, so they can start battling back that vision battle. Chaos with the Banshee's Veil, a very rare second buy for AD carries nowadays.
And he's low on damage output is the thing. I mean, he's able to rely on Dyrus, but yeah, it's just Ayad Zeal, Banshee's Veil, whoa, out of nowhere.
It's kind of to block the random spears that are going to zone him from the rest of the fight, because at that Dragon fight, what really started off bad for them was him losing a large percentage of his life to a spear. It's going to be pretty good against that, but there's so many spammable spells also from Marn, it won't add too much past just trying to shield a random spear.
Alrighty, we'll see what that works out well for him. KX still has a few seconds before Barrier is back up, and more than a minute until Flash. Mark could find a fight. They could easily find Chaos here with no recourse to get out. There's not a dedicated support. Terra can stun one guy, but that's it. MegaZero with the ward coverage over blue buff. He's going to start on this one. There's no vision for Team Solo mid. This could be an easy pickup there. Not even going to give it towards Echo. He javelins a minion. It's Heartbeat with blue buff, so more rapid fires for him.
So the key flashes are not up right now for TSM. They're a little bit wary. Reggie and Kaox both have their flashes down. All the other ultimates are up. But with those two high priority targets being immobile, they have to be wary because Jarvan's Cataclysm is such a good CC when you don't have a flash or a jump, which neither of those champions do.
And actually no one on TSM can jump out. They have no defensive move blocks, whereas almost everyone from MRN does.
So they can all jump in.
Yeah, they can all get it. You're absolutely right. Everyone on this team, literally everyone can jump into Cataclysm, and no one from TSM can jump out except for with Flash. So Claky D getting that Jarvan is played into their hands more than I even expected here. It's pretty beautiful.
Party in the crater. Everybody's coming. It's been a very long day, Freak, and I don't know about you, but I am ready for a big brawl. I just hope these guys are gonna get to something very soon.
Hopefully they will smash against each other pretty soon. Let's see. Heartbeat with items. He is ahead as far as damage is concerned against KX, despite being down in at least minion farm.
So look at this vision that's slowly drained away for TSM. Atomic has been putting that Oracle to great use. They've been slowly, methodically clearing out wards over and over and over. Expressal's kind of run dry here. They've got 1, 2 more left on Dyrus. He's going to share the burden himself, and they're just going to keep on putting them over this wall. The Baron dropping so quickly.
Well, Xerath not finding a whole lot of damage there. Are they going to look to outsmite the jungler? They're going to go for it. It is a pickup for the blue team. They're going to start in. They found Chaos. They found the odd one. Odd one goes down. Chaos has been exhausted. Barrier's been used. His flash is available. Will they get enough damage? MegaZero looks for it. Can he get it? Yes. And he's still got Zhonya's available. What's going to happen next? It's Dyrus. It's a double kill, though. Mega goes down without using Zhonya's, I don't believe. But it's still, the rest of them are alive. Only Dyrus and Reginald are alive. A 4-on-2.
Dyrus with the silver lining there, able to pick up at least the 1 kill on MegaZero, make him pay for the ridiculous amounts of damage that he was able to put out there. And MRN are looking at their second upset in this Super Wednesday, marching on an inhibitor turret.
There they go, man. Minions are going down. 24 seconds on MegaZero, 8 seconds on the odd one. He actually did have flash, but he didn't go for the steal over the wall. He walked around the long way. Now it's the inhibitor. Inhibitor taking a bunch of damage. Xerath poke comes out. Javelin just barely grazing just behind him, but that is the inhibitor going down. 34 minutes in, 7-7 on kills, and a 6,000 gold lead for MRN.
Just as I asked for some action, we have an explosion. MRN grabbing the Baron buff and the inhibitor. That is an all-around win. There's no way you can spin that in TSM's favor. They are definitely on their back foot right now. Dyrus did pick up a Guardian Angel, but with all the kills focused on him, he really has to do a lot of the damage. He needs to get a Leandri's or something else. I mean, there's not a lot of HP stacking for MRN, but they have to have some other answer because they just don't have it right now.
All right, well, Soothsayer or Kobe, can you take us through that last fight and break it down? Because that was a very big one for MRN.
That was indeed a huge game-changing fight right now.
Let's get a replay going if we have it. I heard we did, but then again, they're kind of moving around the map again, so maybe we'll actually...
It's the end of the day. It's time for Trolls, Freak.
Yeah. Well, you took so long describing that last fight. No, I'm just kidding. Dyrus there back in the bottom lane here. Heartbeat in mid, looking really good for himself. 283, 3.5 fully completed items there, just waiting on the rest of Phantom Dancer himself.
I like how Atomic has not been stingy with the wards. Even though they just got a huge advantage, they have Baron buff, they took out the middle inhibitor so they can basically run over this map. He's still dropping those wards even in the river area and building up their advantage so they don't give it away. This is like a senior move where one of these senior teams would solidify their advantage by slowly getting map control with all these wards. And they take another well-timed dragon. They've got a huge creep wave top, so they can just shove this bottom, and that will slowly eat away at the rest of TSM's base.
Well, eating they are, and it just looks like MRN is hungry here because they want to find more Jenga blocks to take down, take more bites out of that team. Let's see what they can go for. Voracious appetites and all that. Xerath putting out some good poke. Claky D getting really hit hard. Can he get away from this one? Actually misses the EQ, doesn't even cast it. Claky D dangerously low. He will fall down, but the re-engage odd one. so very low on health. Mega Zero in the front as well. GA being forced up on Dyrus. Can they pick up this kill in time? He's going to be running down that bit. A beautiful equalizer. Mega Zero forced ult special in front. Will they find that? Heartbeat does. Echo's still in the back line. Those two huge damage dealers are there. Chaos gets just destroyed right there. And there's now only 3 members alive. Odd one. Triple kill. Heartbeat going forward. Flashes in. Finds Dyrus. Can he get one more quadra? You... Really? You didn't go for the penta?
You got to reset on your jump, dude. Come on. This late game Tristana, that's what I wanted to see, though. He went with the patented late game Tristana build instead of that the gimmicky Blade of the Ruined King. He's got the holy trinity of items just kind of snuck up on us there. He's maxed out his rapid fire now, and he's got the combination of the Infinity Edge. Oh, so much damage from Reggie, though. Can still get 100% bursted by Xerath.
Even through a needly heal, that was an amazing. So maybe that's why he ran away last time. Because holy crap, that damage. Still, though, kind of a pansy.
Yeah, we're not
Cutie Pie would have gone
there
for that, and you know it.
Cutie Pie definitely would have gone for that. And Reggie's cooldowns were still cooling down at that point, so he actually paid for that with his life there. But I have to say, the Trinity right now, he actually has the quadruple AD carry build here. The penetration with the crit stacked on top of the Infinity Edge and the huge amounts of lifesteal aren't going to save him. So he has a Negatron cloak on top of that. Doesn't want to have a repeat of that. Just, I don't know what you want to call that, assassination by Reggie. It was really just a straight up one
Crusherizing.
Yeah, there we go.
We're making up words. Crusherizing is the word I'm going to use.
It's the end of the day.
Doesn't matter. I'd use it day 1. Minute 1, second 1, crusherizing. It's a new word, look it up. I've invented it. Anyway, no. Heartbeat, though, it's interesting because you talked about it in the pregame. There's so much magic penetration available. The 40% from the W, 8% from the Mastery.
You can see it in action right there.
Yeah, and he's got the 30 flat from the Sork Shoes and Haunting guys. Like, I don't think Negatron Cloak actually did anything. Like, by itself, I think it had 0 effect.
He's going to want a Banshee's Veil, too, probably. I mean, Chaos started out with one pretty early. We'll see if Tristana actually follows up. Probably going to turn that one into a nice little bubble of her own. Atomic, again, doing work with that.
Looking for Dyrus. They've got the dunks, and look at the damage output on him. He gets knocked in the air. That was 1 picked up. However, they don't have a Heartbeat, but the ult now down. They're going to go in for KX. Everyone's just stuck in that ball right there. Heartbeat versus KX, 1 versus 1. Knockback, he's going to jump away. Who's going to fall down first? It's an ult from Mega Zero. He's zoning himself. Jump in from Heartbeat. Double kill there for Echo. Onto the odd one. He's fallen down. Only special is alive, and Heartbeat this time will jump in for it. He's looking for the damage output. I think he's going to get it no matter what. The stun not strong enough. That is a double kill and an ace. Marn is alone, 5 strong inside of TSM's base. This is going to be their second upset victory. The surrender comes in. Congratulations, Marn.
I believe it's time to bring back the verb Marn, because they did it to CLG, they just did it to TSM. These are literally the 2 titans of League of Legends competitive play, the 2 oldest teams, the 2 biggest organizations. Marn, the newcomer, just killed both of them on the same day. Upsets everywhere.
Man, when I came up on stage, I was like, first game, I hope we get some upsets today, man. I'm looking for some upsets.
It took a long time.
Yeah, but like practically every game that I cast got to be like, I always draw the good games, and man, the Marn upsets over and over and over again. Right? Mega Zero vs. Dyrus actually worked out quite well for him after level 6. Heartbeat really proving himself there. I mean, the guy carried that one late game. Echo still sick, still played awesome.
Echo seems like he's always sick, but he is playing he's playing so awesome now. The Tristana build, I have to say, he adapted really well instead of sticking to his same old build. And that's really what you have to do to get to the next level is adaptation. It's all about adaptation. The Koreans, that's why they have such a big edge when they meet a lot of these other teams from either North America or Europe. Yeah. They really switch up the meta and force teams to play and force teams to adapt quickly. This is a good sign for Marn. I'm very happy to see a lot of our upcoming teams using that to their advantage too.
It's just beautiful to see these guys just pull out different things. Now, guys, after the break, we're going to talk to Heartbeat from Team Marn and take a look at the standings after the long day. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. David Freak Turley here with Heartbeat, the AD carry from Team MRN. First of all, congratulations on your double upset victories.
Yeah, it was really like a good feeling thing for us. And I'm glad that we were able to prove ourselves as one of the strong standards in the league.
So what was your practice coming in for Super Week? Right? You played the very last game of the day. You fought probably the 3 strongest teams in the league almost. How did you prepare for these matches?
As a team, we were only able to scrim 2 teams because all the other teams, you have to play them this week. So yeah, we just played with the 2 teams and we analyzed what each team that we had to play, like what we had to ban, what we had to pick against them. And basically, we just played it out like very calmly from the beginning.
So walk us through it. What was your game plan coming into CLG? What was your focus for that game?
For CLG, it was obviously shutting down bottom lane.
Okay.
And like, I was really happy when I got the double kill because I know for sure I can shut him down for at least like mid-game phase. And then we were able to do that, and we were able to get the free dragons. And then like, we were just stronger. We had the gold lead, we had the better items. So as long as we didn't mess up in a team fight, like we should have won 100%.
So you actually just mentioned at the very end there, not messing up when you have the gold lead. Is it like really nerve-wracking when you're in like minute 30, you're like, we're winning? Do you get nervous like on closing the game out?
Against good teams, it's really hard to like close the game out because they know how to stall games out and they know how to stop pushes. But we just took it calmly. We just took it one step at a time, and then we were able to just close it out that way.
Cool. So then moving on to the match you just played with Team Solomid, what was the plan going into that game?
We knew that they were going to try the 3v1 top by lane switching. So we actually decided to lane swap back up to top. Like, I don't think any team has done this yet, but it stops the dive and it stops the proxy from the outer turret. So we were able to hold our lane, and we were able to actually get their outer turret before they took ours. And I think we just shut down their game plan, and we were able to take it one step at a time again, and then we closed it out.
So actually tell me about that 2-on-2 lane. They picked Tarek Misfortune right away, and you said, we're going to go Alice or Tristana. Is that a counter lane, or is it just comfortable champions?
We're both comfortable. Like, as many of you know, like I'm very comfortable on Tristana, and Atomic's really comfortable on Alistar. So we just picked the 2 most comfortable like lane. But we saw that Xin was completely just camping top, so we were getting LCS, but we took it slowly. We got the first dragon, so we just stayed in the game.
Cool. What makes Tristana such a comfortable champion for you?
She has a really strong like laning phase, and if you can somehow bypass the mid game dip, like late game, she's just a monster. Like she has a self PO and she has a resetting jump. So I think she's really like overpowered in my book.
So speaking about resetting jump, you got the quadra kill on Dyrus. You know the fight I'm talking about. You got the quadra kill on the Dyrus. You could have jumped at Reginald for the Penta. Why didn't you go for it?
I guess that he had the stun up, and I guess I wanted to take it. Like I didn't want to get greedy. Like if for some reason that I died, like we can't close out the game. So I just kind of backed out.
All right, fair enough. In that game though, when did it feel like you guys had it? And you're like, we're gonna have this upset victory against TSM.
Basically, after we won, we got that quadra. Like that was it.
You just knew it was done. It was closed out.
There was no way. Yeah.
It's really awesome for you guys. So coming into the next week, you've got a game Thursday and a game Friday against Good Game University and then Dignitas. What are you going to look for in those games?
We just have to play the same right now. We have to practice like consecutively, and then just work it out and just do the same thing. Basically, it's been working off for us, and I think we should just keep doing the same thing.
All right, so Slow and Steady apparently going to win the race for you guys. Team MRN, Heartbeat, thank you very much. And of course, congratulations on really awesome games today. I know you really showed the world some really just awesome stuff. You guys came out of nowhere with some great upset victories. So that's going to do it for my segment. I want to send it over to Jat at the Telestrator. He's going to break down some key plays from the matches today. Jat, take it away.
Thanks, Freak. And I was going to show Heartbeat's pentakill, but he decided to not get a pentakill and turn it into a quadra. So instead, we're going to show the Baron fight that ended up turning this game over. MRN caught TSM out of position in this situation. You can see TSM was trapped really in having Reginald and X Special up here, not ready to get into the fight. Dyrus was way off on the side of the minimap. MRN had everyone around the Baron pit where they wanted it, and you can see the Baron health in particular was actually quite low. Odd One was off screen from the bottom of this, so he wasn't able to come into this fight. But if we actually just watch this play out, they get the Baron steal. So we can see it play. They try to steal with Reginald. Marn gets it, and then they go for the initiation. If we pause it here, actually, you get to see how out of position TSM really was. Reginald is up here. He's not able to fight. He just used his entire burst trying to steal the Baron. Dyrus is still on the minimap, way down there. You probably can't even see it here. So they get caught in. Odd One was trying to come around the front to steal the Baron, but he wasn't there as well. X Special had literally just walked down from here, and Chaos gets hit by exactly the first exhaust. So just because of TSM's positional disadvantage when they ran up towards the Baron pit, you can watch them get completely obliterated this fight as we roll it. So Odd One goes down. Reginald tries to siege up and go around. He gets one spell off onto Heartbeat, but then it doesn't really matter. Dyrus came in late, but by the time he got his equalizer down by Rumble, there wasn't much to equalize because the fight had been lost terribly. They all get away. The Baron was to Marn, and this was really the turning point in the game that allowed them, after 33 minutes of slow farming, to start pulling that one away. So the other clip that I wanted to touch on was probably the brawliest of brawls that we had all day. It was Vulcan versus Complexity. 21 kills to 16. This was the highest kill game I think we had in the day. 60,000 gold to 54,000. And there's a few things I want to point out before this fight starts. All day we've been seeing Twisted Fates put in the Zhonya's Hourglass and just bait people out with spells. So you can see Mandatory Cloud is down here in this clip. But the big thing to keep in mind is he has the Zhonya's Hourglass as this fight rolls out. So if we can actually roll the clip here, we get to see the initiation that ManCloud goes in for. Everyone in Complexity is kind of backing up, but Vulcan says it's time to go. Teleport in, pause it right here. And you can see, normally, before Messiah revolutionized Twisted Fate play with Zhonya's Hourglass baits, everyone here is thinking, this TF's an idiot. I'm going to kill him right now. As soon as he ports in, everyone would want to Jarvan ult him, they'd want to get a Terex stun ready, and they just try to pile onto him. But if you can roll this at half speed, you see they're afraid of him. They don't want to bait anything out on him. They know he has the Zhonya's up if he wants to go. So they decide to start a counter initiation. If we can pause it here, we can actually see what has started to come up. Laudamoris just got the Shen ult. Everyone wants to fly into Laudamoris. Brunch on Ezreal just popped his ultimate. Everything is getting focused down. The teleport is coming in. This is Diana coming in from the bottom lane. They're trying to make it happen because X-Smith, Psycho Sid, who's on Elise for Vulcan, is way off the bottom of the screen. You can't see him there. This looks like it might be a good idea for Complexity. So if we can roll this still at half speed, we get to see how this fight really plays out. Vulcan's actually on the retreat for a little bit, and Laudamoris says, I'm going to go. He Jarvan ults and immediately ults in. If we can pause it here, it is just total chaos at this point. You don't really know what's going to happen. Brunch Yu and Nick Wu are sitting on the Kog'Maw puddle. Laudamoris, however, no longer has the shield from the Shen ultimate, so he's actually really vulnerable. He went in so fast that the rest of Complexity isn't really in range to follow up. So immediately Laudamoris actually realizes he's in too deep. He actually tries to flash out of this, and if we can play this really slowly, there was one of the coolest interactions I've seen. X-Smithy is already channeling his Xin Zhao Crescent Sweep as Laudamoris flashes out, but it hits him right away, and he's not able to come out of this. So he gets completely crushed from here, and Laudamoris is down right here. Complexity was trying the initiation, and at about this moment, if we can pause it, is when Complexity realizes they've lost the fight. They were trying to initiate, but because Laudamoris, their leader, is down, everyone in Complexity right now has a pretty good distance from Vulcan, but they didn't realize fast enough that they had to run away. So everyone on Vulcan at this moment realizes that they've just won. Mandatory Cloud wants to go over and kill MIA. He's going to be able to finish him off. And watch how awesomely Vulcan follows up here. They have Muffin Cutie's Alistair and Zuna's Kog'Maw do amazing things to start this initiation, the re-initiation, if we can roll the clip. So ManCloud gets the stun onto MIA up in the top. Muffin Cutie still had his flash if he gets there, and Zuna rolls everyone with the slow puddle, and Complexity just had no escape from this one. So that was just a crazy, chaotic fight. Vulcan did most things absolutely right in there. Complexity tried the counter initiation. They weren't able to get that off, and that was just Vulcan's victory. But in what was actually turned into a day of Marn, they killed TSM and CLG. One of the coolest team fights was at Vulcan Gate. Super Week and Super Wednesday had so much action. It was really awesome to see. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Chat. Now let's see where all these teams stand after all Super Wednesday's crazy, hectic action. Still in first place is Curse at 8-1. Hot on their heels, though. Dignitas at 8-2. TSM bringing up third place, 6-3. CLG with a bit of a rocky day at 5-4 in fourth place.
Then we have Marn at 3 and 4, Vulcan on 4 and 7, Complexity 1 and 6, GGU still only with that 1 win, 9 losses now.
Unfortunate spot for them. And of course, now on Thursday, the North American LCS continues. This is only 1 day of 3. We got more coming on, baby. Kicking things off, TSM faces off against Vulcan. Then Dignitas looks to continue their winning streak. Very long one now against Complexity.
Our third match features GGU battling the reinvigorated Marn after those 2 amazing wins we just saw. And then closing out the day, we've got a classic rematch, CLG versus Curse.
We saw that Curse was no longer unbeatable. We'll see what happens there. And it all starts at 1 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central European Time. I'm Freak for Kobe24, Jat, Riv, and the entire live broadcast crew. Thank you for watching.